After 126 years, two powerful earthquakes struck Venezuela's northern region within seconds of each other. The first one measured 7.2 in magnitude. Just 39 seconds later, a much stronger 7.5 earthquake hit almost the same area near the town of Mon. These back to back quakes sent strong shaking across a wide region. Even though the epicenter was more than 100 kilometers away, the tremors were powerful enough to be felt clearly in the capital, Caracas. Seismic waves from the earthquakes traveled through the Earth's crust and reached Caracas within seconds. As they moved outward from the northern coast, the waves kept much of their strength. When they entered the valley where Caracas is located, the shaking became more intense. This happened because the waves did not lose much energy over the distance. Residents in the capital felt the ground move strongly, and some buildings began to sway noticeably. The fact that significant shaking occurred so far from the epicenter shows how powerful these earthquakes were and how local ground conditions can increase their impact. Venezuela sits along a major boundary where two large tectonic plates meet. The Caribbean plate is slowly sliding past the South American plate. Stress builds up over time and is suddenly released as earthquakes. This is not the first time northern Venezuela has experienced storm shaking. In 1812, a magnitude 7.7 earthquake caused widespread destruction in Caracas and surrounding areas. Another major quake of magnitude 7.6 struck in 1900. In 1967, a 6.6 magnitude earthquake hit Caracas directly, causing severe damage and loss of life. These past events show that the northern part of the country has long been prone to significant earthquakes. The 2026 earthquakes occurred along a fault system that runs parallel to Venezuela's northern coast. In this type of movement, the two sides of the fault slide horizontally past each other. This is known as strike-slip motion. The sideways movement released a large amount of energy very quickly. Because the fault is located at a relatively shallow depth, the shaking reached the surface with great force. This explains why areas some distance from the epicenter still experience strong tremors. The fault involved is part of a long, active system that has produced major earthquakes in Venezuela in the past. Northern Venezuela, including the Caracas region and nearby states like Carabobo, is one of the most populated parts of the country. The metropolitan area of Caracas alone has over 3 million people. When seismic waves enter the soft soil and sediments of the Caracas Valley, they slow down and become stronger. This effect made the shaking more intense in these populated areas. Because many of Venezuela's largest cities and economic centers are located along the northern coastal and valley zones, earthquakes in this region can affect a significant number of people. The soft ground in these valleys plays a major role in increasing the impact. How buildings responded to the shaking. As the intensity of shaking increased, buildings faced growing stress. At lower levels, structures may only sway without major damage. But during stronger shaking, columns and beams begin to bend and crack. In the 7.5 earthquake, the force was high enough that some buildings could not hold up, especially where the ground was soft. When the lower parts of a building fail first, the upper floors can collapse downward. This type of progressive failure is what engineers study closely. Past earthquakes in Venezuela, such as the 1967 event in Caracas, also showed how building design and ground conditions together determine how much damage occurs during strong shaking.